Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Tony's Picks Look Ahead show here with yours truly, Alessandro, or you guys can call me Vegas Al, whatever you guys prefer. Boy, I got hooked with the Patriots today. They did get it done, and then took the Rams. Game that went right down to the wire. Defense, of course, let us down there near the end. Just needed that one key stop. Couldn't get it. 0-2 today. We actually have picked things up a little bit, though, this week. It was brutal at the beginning of the month. We've picked things up. UFC wasn't that bad. I'll get to it near the end of the show. A little recap on how this weekend went. Good to be back. We're going to give you guys some Monday action here for January 26th. We're going to get into a couple of these college basketball games. I'm really not in love with the college basketball slate tomorrow. A lot of mid-major. Really small conference schools going at it. And then a couple marquee games. That's what we'll get into college basketball-wise. And then going to cover some NBA and some NHL. So a lot of action here to break down. Ready to get into it. Good to be back here on the Look Ahead show. And like, comment, and subscribe here. Link in the description as well. Takes you to Tony'sPicks.com. where our best picks and content are. So without further ado, let's get into it here. We got Louisville and Duke. This one taking place in Cameron Indoor Arena. Of course, Duke did get it done last time versus Louisville, 84-73. You look, that's right where this total's at. Total's at 156.5. The game, like I said, last time was 84-73. That's 157. So that's basically a lazy line put out there, in my opinion, by the books, just going off last year or last meeting. To me, I got to go Duke here. I'm not going to overthink it. Like I said, dominated them in Louisville. They had broke Louisville's 19-game home winning streak up to that point. Duke is on a 4-1 ATS run their last 5 games, 11-8 against the number this year. Not terrible. Louisville 10-9 to the number this year, but on a 1-5 ATS run as of late. Look at Duke, 7 straight wins, 9-0 at home, undefeated in Cameron Indoor Arena this year. You look, Louisville, 8 straight losses versus Duke, 5 straight non-covers. Duke's historically got it done. I got to keep rolling with the Dookie Blue Devils here. And a -7.5 doesn't feel too bad, so I'll lay it here with those Duke Blue Devils in the first game. Another, at least couple big-time schools here, Penn State and Ohio State. Boy, oh boy, Penn State, 6 straight losses, 8 straight Big Ten losses. You look, this is an Ohio State bounce-back spot as well, just lost there to Michigan. It's a little sketchy. I mean, I get last year Ohio State won 83-64, obviously would have covered this number. Penn State plays them tough, though. 10-5 against the number in the last 15 matchups versus Ohio State is Penn State. So, again, you've just simply backed Penn State the last 7 years. You're on top. You look at Penn State, though, 2 blowout losses that were ugly here versus Maryland and Wisconsin coming off of. I'm not going to hold too much shame. I get it was at home to UCLA. UCLA is a pretty good team. To me, I got to lay it still with Ohio State. I hate to give out 2 chalk plays here. It's just Penn State I can't trust here in this spot. I think their get-right spot is up next against Northwestern or maybe Minnesota there a couple games from now. They've just been getting obliterated. I mean, you don't lose by 20-plus points to Maryland and Wisconsin here and expect to get money from me. I get it. They did cover against Michigan and Purdue, but they were 20-plus point underdogs. I don't know. To me, Ohio State at -12.5. It starts getting up near 15, 16. I don't expect it to rise that much, but it does. Maybe there's some value on Penn State, but where the line is at currently, I got to go with those Buckeyes. You guys know I like that backcourt, Mobley and Thornton, 2 big-time guards. Got no problem here going to the Buckeyes in this one. And then the final college game I'll talk about, I'm going chalk again here. 3 chalk plays. You can parlay them up if you want, but I like those Arizona Wildcats to get it done here against BYU. I get it. BYU is a great team this year as well with the obviously standout freshman Dabansa, Richie Saunders, even Wright the third, Kiba Kaida. There's a ton of pieces on this BYU squad. But I can argue Arizona is actually a little bit deeper with their 8-man rotation, average height of 6'7". Multiple guys should be able to switch on and off of Dybantsa. Don't get me wrong. He's going to get his. I don't know if he's going to score 43 like he did last time there versus Utah. He scored 13 the game before versus Texas Tech. I think we get the better of both worlds here, or, a little split the difference. The kid's averaging 23. Expect him to get around there. He's going to get his. The question is Arizona going to close out on these shooters that are surrounding him? I think they do. Arizona, again, undefeated, 20-0 this year, number one in the country. Are we really going to sleep on them? I think Koa Pete and Dybantsa, it's a big-time matchup here. Again, average height 6'7" across this 8-man rotation for Arizona. I was expecting to have to lay a little bit more than -2.5. I was expecting 5 possibly on the road. I could argue it's a little bit of a buy low number. Arizona minus the 2.5 on the road here. Get it done to remain undefeated. Should be a great game. Absolutely will be tuned into that one. Tons of NBA talent on the floor as well in that one. All right, guys, we're going to go over to the NBA. What do we got here? We got first game, Pacers and Hawks. Just a huge red flag, I would think, having a lay with the Hawks, right? 5 points I'm seeing you're having a lay with the Hawks here at home. You look at how the Hawks have done in their last 10 games versus the Eastern Conference, just straight up. This isn't even against the number. They're 1-9 in their last 10 games versus an Eastern Conference opponent. You look, though, Hawks won the first meeting this year and the final 2 meetings last season versus the Pacers. So that's 3 straight they've gotten done here versus the Pacers. I could argue Pacers also a little bit in a letdown spot. Obviously cashed everybody out. Big fat payday. I said take the +15. I said sprinkle the money line there versus the Thunder in what was a finals rematch spot there on Friday night. Yes, I get it. A couple days rest. This game's taking place tomorrow night on Monday. Expect some fresh legs out of the Pacers, but I could also expect a little fat and happy, sluggish performance possibly out of the Pacers. Let me get to the injury report too before I discuss anything else. What do you call it here? I am seeing 4.5 now with the Hawks, by the way. But I'm seeing Mathurin, who's a huge piece. I want him in if I want to back the Pacers. Quentin Jackson, Obi Toppin, all on the injury report for the Pacers. Rishashair and Porzingis on the injury report for the Hawks. When I look here, I still think pretty much a little bit deeper team on Onyeka Okongwu, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Jalen Johnson. Clearly are your big 3 here for the Hawks. I like a Luke Kennard coming off the bench. I even like Dyson Daniels. I mean, I get the kid shooting 10%. You heard that right. 10% from the 3-point land is Dyson Daniels. It's the kid, don't get me wrong, he can go out and get you 10 rebounds as a 6'8 combo guard forward guy out on the wing, guard multiple positions, can take it to the rack, dribble the ball, pass it a little bit. I like Dyson Daniels, but boy, oh boy, do not shoot a jump shot, please. And then, C.J. McConnell the other night scored 21 points. Obviously picked him up in that trade there with Washington. Vic Krejci, plenty of pieces on this Hawk squad. I'm not a big in love here with Nembhard and Nesmith and McConnell. Those, again, I would want Mathurin in if I wanted to back the Pacers. Micah Potter, Jay Huff, Pascal Siakam, I get it. Those are some nice pieces in the front court. I'll argue Onyeka Okongwu is the best big man between both teams, and he should have another 20 and 10-plus performance here. Obviously, Jalen Johnson had an 18-rebound performance the other night as well. I think the Hawks get it to a sketchy spot. The rule is to never, ever, ever, ever lay it with the Hawks at home. We're going to go against the rule. We're going to reluctantly go to those Atlanta Hawks here, minus the 4.5 in that one. Right. We got Magic and Cavaliers here. I'm not giving you every NBA game, guys. I'm going to skip a couple. I'll let you guys figure out the ones I'm skipping here. But Cavaliers and Magic, Cavs at home now. This little 2-game set. I'll be honest, I was on the Magic last time. Did not think the Cavaliers would show up there on a back-to-back travel spot, a game in which that ended around midnight, and now they're having to travel from Cleveland to Orlando. Short turnaround. Hey, they still got it done. Shows they're, a little bit still playing for something here. When I was looking, Magic, obviously looking for revenge. They do have Miami up on deck next. I don't think it's a look at. They beat them 3 times this year, and we have a revenge spot right in front of us here with the Cavs. So I'm expecting Magic to show up here. I don't know. To me, I could argue the Cavs could have been favored by more. 4.5 seems light. I'm looking the Cavs' way. The Cavs only 2.5 games up from Orlando. I mean, just the smallest of losing streaks out of the Cleveland Cavaliers, and they're looking like a play-in team. So I still think they have plenty to play for. They're in that little tweener spot where, they get on a nice winning streak. They're all of a sudden near the 2 seed. They get on a losing streak, they're in the play-in. So I think they're going to see their best out of the Cavaliers, at least up until the All-Star break. If that back-to-back spot there wasn't evident of that, I don't know what else to tell you. Only thing that worries me, they played the Lakers on Wednesday. Don't care how bad the Lakers are. You got LeBron, you got Luka, you got, the Lakers coming into town. It's a look ahead. So that's what worries me. Again, lean to the Cavs. I will give you guys the injury report. I know I talked a lot about this game, but injury report-wise, I'm seeing Wagner and Castleton for the Magic. Names on top of names. Didn't stop me last time, or really did because I was on the Magic. But again, didn't stop the Cavs last time from getting it done. DeAndre Hunter, Sam Merrill, Max Strus, Darius Garland are really the main names on the injury report for the Cavs. They practically got it done last time without him. Laying 4.5. I'm leaning to the Cavs here again. Another favorite I'd be looking at. Super chalky out the gate here. Super chalky. We got We got Trailblazers and Celtics. I'll go to the injury report first before I forget. Tons of names for the Blazers. Holy smokes. We got Chris Murray, Matisse Thybulle, Scoot Henderson, Robert Williams, Denny Avdija, all on the injury report for the Blazers. We got Kieta, Josh Minot, really the only 2 names on the injury report for the Celtics. When I look here, Portland won the first meeting actually back near the end of the year, December 28th this season. They won 114-108. So there is a little bit of a revenge angle for the Celtics. And I'll argue the Celtics are in a little bit of that same spot as the Cavs. They're in the 2 seed, but they got Toronto, New York, and Cleveland right on their tails. I'm talking a game and a half back or 2 games back from Boston. Again, they get on a little losing streak. They could, they already lost the other night to the Bulls. They get on a losing streak here. They could easily fall back out of that 2 seed. I think they're going to show up here in a bounce back spot. Despite Boston losing last time versus the Blazers, they're still 5-1-1. There was a push in there in their last 7 meetings to Portland. That's 5-1-1 against the number as well. You look, the average line in those 7 games was -9.5. Of course, we got a -8.5 here with the Celtics. That push in that 7-game stretch, again, 5-1-1 ATS-wise last 7 meetings versus the Trailblazers was a -17, and they pushed. Are we really going to hold the Celtics? We're going to hold them hostage for that? I'm not going to. Celtics 25-20 to the number this year. Been a very profitable team. I could argue the Blazers have just been even better profitable, actually. 26-19 to the number this year. Blazers do have the rest advantage, but I don't know. To me, I'm looking for weapons here offensively for the Blazers. And Drew Holiday you're having to go to, Donovan Clingan you're having to go to maybe. I like Jeremy Grant, don't get me wrong, but you're going to need some of those guys that are on the injury report to play for me to want to get on the Blazers. Hate to give you so much chalk out the gate. I'm on Boston here in a bounce-back spot here for them. I'll lay it with those Celtics. All right here. Probably finally giving you guys a dog. We got Grizzlies. We got Rockets. Injury report's not pretty in this one either. Let me see here. I was trying to find it. There we go. The injury report, John Moran, Zach Edey, Scottie Pippen, Brandon Clark, Santi Aldama, Ty Jerome, all on the injury report. Again, check in the morning, see who is playing and who's not. A lot of these guys are listed as out. Aldama is a game time with the knee. Rockets a little bit healthier. Adams is on the injury report and Aaron Holiday. I could argue they're just really trying to rest Adams here. He's hadn't played a couple, actually, I think. But you look who the Rockets play up next. They play the Spurs. I don't care what you guys want to say. They play the Spurs on Wednesday. I think that's a look-ahead spot back at home against the Spurs here. I could argue Grizzlies getting 10.5 points. I'm not mad at backing. I get it. Houston won 124-109 back in November in these two teams' last meeting between each other. Let me look. Rockets, though, historically, 7-3 ATS last 10 meetings versus Memphis. They were laying some points there, but then towards the average line was around -4, pretty much that way. But there's a couple that are -10, and then there's a couple where they're even +2.5 or something. So it's kind of hard to tell. That 7-3 ATS. I don't want to have to lay 10.5 points with the Rockets with the Spurs on deck. Grizzlies also, again, a bunch of players not playing, so I don't know if the Rockets will take them as serious. Again, forced to play this one. I'm taking those points with those Memphis Grizzlies, who are on a bounce back at the end of the day, too. They've dropped the last, 3 out of the last 4. Obviously lost that one on Friday to the Pelicans. We did give out Pelicans there. I don't know. To me, I feel my gut's right in this one. Take the points with the Grizzlies, even with the ugly injury report here. Got to take those +10 and that +10.5 there with Memphis in that one. All right, final NBA game I'll talk about. We got the Golden State Warriors and those Minnesota Timberwolves. Some shenanigans going on there. I mean, I get it. Shooting happened there in Minneapolis. Whatever you guys think about that. But what do you want to call it? The game got canceled and postponed pretty much because of that. I could argue the Warriors being already on the road. I don't know. To me, I think that actually played in the advantage of the Warriors, and I thought the Timberwolves showed up flat. They scored 85 points there versus the Warriors. I don't know. To me, I think this is a bounce back spot, but I don't want to lay 7.5 points with the Timberwolves. I think this one's going to be a closer game. Definitely don't see the Timberwolves only scoring 85 points in this one. Total at 232.5. I'll take the over. Again, I know it's risky. Warriors will play some defense. I don't know. To me, I get the Warriors are 4-11 to the number last 15 games. This is versus Western Conference opponents. Again, 4-11 to the number last 15 versus Western Conference opponents. Also 2-6 to the number in their last 8 road games. You look 1-5 straight up versus Minnesota in the last 6. Obviously, that one win was the one we just saw. I could argue Timberwolves win. They don't cover. Scrappy game that goes down to the end. I'd rather have the +7.5 in my back pocket with those Golden State Warriors. So that's how I feel there about the NBA slates. I will have a couple plays tomorrow in the NBA. Very, very tricky NBA slate, so be very careful. Tread lightly. I'll have 1 or 2 plays here in that. Before I get on into hockey, I see somebody's here in the chat. We got a Mr. Robert Martin, a new name. Good to see a new face here in the chat. Been with Tony since 2015. Let's get it. 4 people watching. Yeah. A rocking. I see 6 people. Whoa. 6 people. Yeah. That's what we got on the channel right now. What we got? Mammoth and Lightning. Let's get into this hockey action here. We got, I'm seeing Vejmelka versus Vasilevsky. 2 pretty solid goalkeepers if you look their numbers all year long and as of late. Lightning are on a 9-2 run since the start of January. Fresh off an 8-5 loss to the Columbus Blue Jackets. So I'm expecting a bounce back here out of them. No way I see 8 goals getting given up here again. Mammoth also 9-2 in the month of January. 5 straight wins as well. Far little East Coast road trip here. Who they have on deck? They have, obviously, the Lightning they're going to play tomorrow. Then they got the Florida Panthers, and then they got the Hurricanes. So a rough little road trip here for the Mammoth. I argue that the Lightning get this one done here. You look, Mammoth have 6 straight losses in Tampa. So they do not fare well traveling to Florida here. And I could argue this one's possibly a look at, even though Lightning are not a team you never want to look past. One of the better teams in all of hockey. But when you got those defending champs up next on a back-to-back, hard to not want to think about that as well, even though they're not playing that great this year, really, Florida. But I'll just be short and sweet with this one. Look, Lightning won the first meeting this year 4-2. I think Vasilevsky could definitely do enough in goalkeeping-wise to keep the offense limited from the Mammoth side. I'm not scared to go puck line again here with the Lightning because, what is it, minus 170 for a money line? Again, minus the minus 1.5 at plus 143 is what I'd be on here with the Lightning. So a little puck line action, maybe a little empty netter there to get that one done. Give me the Lightning, though, on the puck line in this one. All right, we got Flyers and Islanders here. 1 second. Flyers here, minus 115 favorites. Sorokin versus Urson is what we're expecting. Flyers 6-5 in the month of January. Have had some pretty solid wins against the Oilers, against the Avalanche. They've done some things. I know it's a 6-5 run, not necessarily the greatest of things. But Islanders are 5-6 in the month of January to start this new year off. Flyers won both meetings this year as well, 4-3 by a shootout. So I get why that total 6.5. To me, I'm going to stay away from the total, though. I'll just keep it short and sweet. I think the Flyers can get this one again. Urson was in net for both of those wins. Don't get me wrong. One of them was with Rittich, and then the other one was Sorokin. This one, Sorokin, is expected the better goalkeeper. Islanders have a 2-game series on deck, though, versus those Rangers. Still a rivalry, no matter how bad those Rangers are. Could argue it's a look-ahead spot as well. Give me the Flyers here in this one, minus 115. All right, we got Kings and Blue Jackets. I'm seeing Kemper versus Greaves. Blue Jackets on a 7-5 run in January. Kings on a 5-7 run in the month of January. Blue Jackets have won the first meeting in the back in December. It was a 3-1 win. Greaves was in nets versus Forsberg. So, Kemper is at least going to be a net for the Kings now this time. Both teams identical records when it comes to at home. Blue Jackets 13-12. When it comes to Kings on the road, 13-12. Blue Jackets have scored 40 goals in the month of January. Kings have only scored 35 goals in the month of January. I'd argue Greaves is playing pretty solid in goal right now. I'd rather be on the home team here in this one. Give me the Blue Jackets, minus 120 here in that one. And I believe the final hockey game of the night and final game we'll talk about. This is a short episode, I know, but not a lot of action tomorrow. Very much tread lightly in that college basketball. Those mid-major programs will get you. They'll get you. We got, Ducks and Oilers here. This is one of the first 7s I've seen all season. Refresh my memory if you guys remember any 7s, because I'm seeing total at 7. Juice to the under, so it might get its way back down to 6.5. But for right now, I'm seeing, again, Ducks are plus 215 on the money line. And again, total over-under at 7. We're seeing Husso and Ingram expected in goal. Neither guy a serious viable option. I can't trust either guy as far as I can throw them. Husso's only 2 appearances this month. All season long, a 308 goals allowed average. Not the greatest. Ingram, I could argue he's not that good either, but look how he's played his last 6. 178 goals allowed in his last 6 games. Obviously, I would say the Oilers are clearly the better team. 6-6, though, out the gate in the month of January. The Ducks 6-5 out the gate in the month of January. 6 straight wins. Let me see if they got this one done versus the Flames here tonight. Did they finish that one? I saw they were losing. They wound up coming back in overtime and winning 4-3. Now 7 straight wins for those Ducks. Back-to-back spot. I don't like the fact that they just had to go to overtime. Only adds more to me wanting to get on those Oilers. I get it. It's super juiced. Ugly. I get it's a 7, the total. I think it's that high for a reason. Well, again, I told you guys I can't trust either goalkeeper as far as I can throw them. Instead of trying to take a -1.5 with the Oilers or a -2.5, because I think that's where you'll have to go if you want to back the Oilers. Give me either a team total over for the Oilers or just give me a full game over the 7. I get it's a crazy jacked up high number, but I think it's high for a reason. Give me Ducks, Oilers over the 7 in this one. There you guys have it. That's all the action I got for you guys. Let me check out some of the comments, and then I'll give you guys a parlay there at the end of the show. I believe it's all Robert here, the new guy in the chat. Good to see him. He says Duke, Central Connecticut equals Blue Devil parlay. Yes, I do like Central Connecticut. They let me down, though, like last Saturday. That was an inexcusable loss to it was like Lemoyne or something. Mercyhurst or something like that. I can't believe they lost to them. I took them and LIU on the same day. LIU shit the bed as well. He says, got destroyed, had New Jersey and Vegas. I had Vegas today as well. Gross. I saw 1-0. I was like, okay, they can come back for, just disgusting, giving up 7 goals like that. That's those Golden Knights for you. The second you think they're going to start playing well, they shit the bed. So that's Golden Knights for you. And then he says, thanks for the content, young fella. Keep up the good work. Appreciate you tuning in, Robert. Good to see, again, a new face. Hopefully I see you again. Again, 9 p.m. on the West Coast, 12 p.m. midnight on the East Coast. We're going to cover this really Monday through Saturday or Sunday, too. I do take off my Saturdays now that we got pay-per-view. Or not pay-per-view, but Paramount action in UFC. Let me talk about that, actually, and I'll show you how this weekend went. I've had better weekends, if I'm being honest. The NFL to go 0-2 today was ugly. Again, I was on the Rams, and then they got hooked with the Patriots. That game was crazy. Almost fog bowl-like the way we got screwed with that weather. It was, clear skies. And all of a sudden, we got snow. In a matter of 10, 15 minutes, that thing was covered in snow. That was a crazy turn of events there. Underbettors were, I'm sure, super happy seeing all that. But yeah, ugly losses, Rams and Patriots. Actually, was on a -4.5. Gross. Would have been better to wait. But I tried to take a shot on Arnold Allen. I'll still argue Arnold Allen is a pretty good 145er, technical fighter. The self-belief wasn't there. When you fight a guy like Jan Silva, you better have 100% self-belief because Jan Silva does. He is a psycho, that guy. I might not like the guy that much, but every time he fights, it's a fun fight. I was expecting him to be a little too wild and possibly gas, and I don't know. Arnold Allen underperformed for me. I was expecting a little bit more wrestling, a possible back take. But holy smokes, we fraud checked this cat. Atiba Gutierrez and Andre Puliev. Yes, Gutierrez dominated the fight, clearly won it. I don't even know how many knockdowns he got in the fight. Maybe 10, it felt like. Every time he landed something clean, he knocked down Puliev. So for the people saying that Puliev got robbed, I don't know about that one. But the over 1.5, and then I couldn't put this one on the site. Second round to start was -110 in that fight. Yes, I ran to the window on that. It actually got up to +125 by the time the fight started. Way too many people drinking the Atiba Gutierrez lemonade there. No freaking way I was going to lay a -1,000 with him. So we got creative there, over 1.5. That one went the distance. Like I told you, I was on the Magic the other night with the Cavs. Be very careful wanting to back those Magic. Ugly. They couldn't even get the 2-game sweep up overseas there versus the Grizzlies. So stay far, far away from the Magic. We took a little sneaky dog with Nikita Krylov. That was all off strength of schedule. Loads more UFC experience and better resume, and still only 33 years old. Again, I loved Krylov in that fight as the short price dog. Illinois, Purdue over. That was a nice one. That one started getting steamed super high. And then, sorry guys, I took a shot on Bodig van Danschloop in tennis here. +965. Sorry, it didn't cover. It didn't cash, but In tennis, you could take the spread plus 6.5 did cover. I did get on that as well. We don't give that on the site. But yeah, so what am I? 4-6, I think, in my last 10. I know that's not pretty, but can you forgive me? I'm on an Arnold Allen plus 200. Can you forgive me? I'm on a Nikita Krylov, slight dog, I guess. But what? Botic Van Danschesloot plus 965. Guys, 4-6 with those two types of bets. I mean, if one of those hit, we're up massive. So I'm not going to sweat a 4-6 run my last 10. We're going to get back on track. Like I said, the earlier part of this month was rough, but we're slowly turning things around. I told you guys to tread lightly tomorrow with that college basketball. Those 3 games I discussed, chalk, 3-team parlay if you want to do that. But here's another parlay before I get out of here, guys. Love me, Duke, and Golden State, and then those Columbus Blue Jackets at home. A little 3-teamer there for you guys. Duke -7, Warriors plus the 7.5, and Blue Jackets minus the 120 at home. There you guys have it. Thank you for tuning in. I will be back tomorrow, 9 p.m. on the West Coast, 12 p.m. midnight. Click the link in description. Takes you right to Tony'sPicks.com, where our best content and best picks are. Try to sign up on something long-term. A 3-day pass at least is what I recommend. Come weekend time, we have another Paramount UFC card. 2-1 in UFC to start the year. Not going to complain. Arnold Allen needs to get it done. These dogs need to get it done. I gave out Paddy penalty, guys. That was gross. I should have known the resume that Gaethje has, not to sleep on Gaethje. I drank the Paddy Pimblett lemonade there for sure. And also would have probably been on Song Yadong. I actually was able to stay away. Tell me Song Yadong didn't win that fight. I had him up 2 rounds to none going into the third. You can be a hater and say I'm wrong, but let's be real. We know Sean O'Malley's getting some gifted decisions. Petr Yan fight, he didn't win. This fight, I'll honestly say he didn't win. Got steamrolled against Merab twice. He's a humongous fraud. I can't wait to fade him the next time he fights. Before I go on any more rants, let me get on out of here, guys. Best of luck to everybody. Make tomorrow a winning day. Peace.